St. Jude. Patron of the Lost Cause. What's poppin'? Back in the saddle, niggas. Now, I might finish this series off with this one. I might come back and do one more. Really don't matter. Cause got some other shit I want to drop anyway. I might for sure, if not this one, the next one. So let's get to it. Now, I want to talk to y'all about the song that I recommended, or one of the songs in particular, which was the St. Jude song that I told you to go check out. Now, if you went by now, you go to notice that part at the end of the video where the swarm of birds or the blackness or whatever that was actually formed a Q in the video. And if you go back and look at well, any of y'all remember one of the videos I did in the Formation of the Earth series, I was speaking about the Q. And in regards to this topic at hand. But I found that interesting. I didn't want to. Well, when I broke it down in the video, I knew it was a Q, but I was focused on just the circular aspect of it. And I said, damn, I should have told the nigga it was a Q. And I was like, nah, it'll be. I was like, well, I ain't telling him it was a Q, but it'll be a good thing for them to see on their own when they wouldn't see it or whatever. But it referred back to one of the videos I did when in the Formation of the Earth video. Now, St. Jude. What is that song speaking about? Well, she's talking first and foremost. When you look at the song, and this is what I say that part. I ain't gonna get too. I say that for the Good Music Matters series. So I ain't gonna go too deep into what I'm finna say about the music and shit. But it's a damn good song in video. You even see the part where in the video where it shows the whole Jesus or Horus and his four brothers, or what later becomes his four children. The center, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the four dudes coming out holding the rocks, and then there's somebody in the center, and that's what they was alluding to with that, which also deals with because the name of the song was St. Jude, the Odyssey, chapter 3. The Odyssey. Jason and the Argonauts. The Iliad and the Odyssey and all that. The Argonauts are the 50, the sacred 50. The 50, matter of fact. See, when you're dealing with, so you got, yes, everything's coming together. I'm just going to make sure I get back to the original topic. But I'm going to go into this Anunnaki thing. See, these people got you thinking, these teachers, these new wave teachers, they got you thinking that the Anunnaki is some type of alien space, some type of people that came this see, niggas didn't watch too much Ancient Future, and And another thing I didn't realize about movie decoding, which is cool, but I think niggas went crazy with this shit. Now, they're not understanding that you can watch a movie and you can decode the movie, but you have to, when you decode the movie, in order to be a good movie decoder, you have to have a thorough understanding of ancient mythology. So you can be able to see when the people who made the movie put their own spin on it. And see, what I think is going on with a lot of this information is a lot of people are not able to, they're taking, they're not able to discern where the people who make these movies, the white man or whatever you want to call it, put their own twist on the shit. And they get to running with these. That's why these niggas that watch so many goddamn movies, you niggas is thinking that you sci-fi'd out. You know, sci-fi is good because it is science in these type of movies, but you niggas is taking this shit too far. All this Arnold Knight and all this ancient alien shit, alien History Channel bullshit. Oh, the reptilians came and the draconians was fighting with the man. All that shit. I'm telling you, I got the scholarship right here. The draconians is like, you got niggas talking about the draconians is the enemy and all this shit. When the draconians are that's a constellation, the constellation Draco. Now, so people on this planet, and one time was all considered the draconians, and I already did the science on the draconian thing or whatever. But this Anunnaki thing, you don't have to watch. You better off listening to me than looking at some fucking ancient aliens on whatever channel that shit uses, History Channel, whatever. Cause they don't know what the fuck, or they know what the fuck is going on, but they probably spread misinformation. The Anunnaki. When you look at this, read this book here, Serious Mystery, by Robert Temple. Excuse me, Robert Bauval. No, yeah, Robert Temple. Robert Bauval is Black Genesis. Yeah. Robert Temple. Rob T. In this book, and I might try to find it before this session, but I got some other shit I want to talk about too. And I got to get back to the St. Jude thing, but I'll go ahead and kick it around with this right here real quick. But the Anunnaki, when you read this book, basically what he's going to tell you in this book is the Anunnaki, he's going to break it down from a Sumerian aspect of it. And what he's going to say in so many words is the Sumerian account of the Anunnaki was incomplete, or when he went and studied it, or the people he studied that studied it, the shit that he studied in order to put this book together, what he's saying, what he's going to be saying in so many words is they didn't leave enough goddamn literary or scholarship behind to actually explain what the fuck the Anunnaki was. But one of the things he said that stuck out was the 50. He said that the 50, the number seemed to be the most important part of the whole Anunnaki thing. Because he was like, even when you're dealing with the Anunnaki, he says 50 Anunnaki, but none of them have a personality. So it's not like, well, this is John of the 50 and this is Abram of the 50, and he's like, no, it's just 50. And he was like, from his study, all there was the 50 Anunnaki, they was the son of On. I already tell you what On is. On is the light, Osiris, woo woo. The Anunnaki, the Anu. On being the light, the Nu being the dark waters or the melanin or whatever. And the Naki is just another word for niggas. Naga, Nagi, Nigu. That's like these niggas be talking about don't call me a nigga. I'm a king. Stupid nigga, king mean nigga. You niggas too smart for your own good. This right here is nigga. Nigga. K-I-N-G. Take the N. K-I, key, is earth. Another word for earth, the key. The key, the kai. Whatever you want, niggas want to call it. Planet Kai and all this shit. K-I, key, kai, or however you want to pronounce it. Now you go to the N-G. How do you pronounce N-G? You can't escape nigga. Spell it, sound it out. Sound out N and G next to each other. N-G. The N and the G. N-G. The kinderga. The kinderga. The king. The earth. And the nigga. The serpent. The naga. The naki. The naki would be, so you're dealing with the naga. You're dealing with the N, the A, then the G, and the A. But I don't want to go too far into that because it'll take too much time, because the difference, Naga, Nikki, or nigga, Naga, nigga, A-I-R-E, nigga, nigga, niga, nagu, nope, noga, nuga, all that shit is the same, but it'll probably, each vowel will pertain to a certain area or certain aspect of this. But anyway, the Anunnaki, the Naki is a another word for serpent, but it will probably be referring to, because you're dealing with you got the N-A, instead of a G, you have a K. So you'll be dealing with you'll probably be dealing with the light that is coming out from these centers and the light going down, because you're dealing with the K. The G will probably be just this and that. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with the NAG or whatever. Energy. But anyway, the book, he was saying how when you study Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki is more emphasis put on the number 50 than actually personalities. And the Anunnaki was the son of On. On and Bow. Bow was the woman. And they talk about how Bow, the dog star, feminine, the Bow Wow, the dog. They were saying how that's how the name, because since it was called the dog star, and the dog says bow wow, ow wow, or when they bark, it's like ow, ow. You know what I'm saying? That's how the name came or developed or whatever, the bow wow or whatever. So when you're dealing with this, they're pretty simple. The 50 Anunnaki is basically this. Once all them lamps set up, you got 7 in the middle, 8, 9, and remember, you always count. You put the 1 on that, because the 1 represents the whole. So the 1 will represent this outer circumference, which everything sits within. So the whole, or everything, or the oneness is within that garter belt or that girdle. And so you would have 10 going this way, And then you would have 7 in between here and here, which would be 7, 8, 9 plus the 1. That's 10. 10, 20, 30, 40 plus the 1 in the middle coming up 50. So when they talking about the Anunnaki, they talking about the 50 stars or the 50 light rays or the 50 what I just showed you so many words. You know what I'm saying? That's the Anunnaki. It's not no goddamn, we are the Anunnaki. So when people be speaking about these things like there's some type of goddamn alien race from planet Arbitron or some shit, and yeah, the Arbitronians were battling with the Egyptians and they enslaved the Egyptians for 2 years, and the Egyptians came back and they took the gold back and all this old, you know, whatever, man. I don't know what books these niggas be reading. Maybe I need to read them and see where the fuck they come from, but I don't, this shit, but I know what I know. I know my shit, so like I say, when go back to what I was saying about the Anubis and having a discernment, that's why the shit be rubbing me the wrong way. Some shit I can listen to and be like, you know what, I don't really agree with that, but I do my research on it and you know, before I jump the gun. But some shit just be like, nah, this is bullshit. I don't even want to search for it. If it find me, it will, but if it's this just sounds ridiculous, you know. Your nigga ain't finna argue me down and tell me, man, the sky is green. I'm looking at it. You know it's blue. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I was speaking on with the Anunnaki thing. But the 5, when you saw the 4 people holding the rocks, and it was like one in the middle. That's what it was in the video. That's what it was pertaining to, the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the center, the 5. And plus they was in front of the church with the cross and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be saying about this music shit. You know, these niggas over here talking about scrub the ground. This lady over here in the goddamn booth screaming at the top of her lungs, sweet nothing, and meaning that shit and blowing shit out the water. You know, it ain't no personal to scrub the ground folks, but I just as an example. Yeah, this lady is sweet nothing and singing that shit like she mean it. Like, well, that's a different song, but that's a badass song too. Yeah, man. So I ain't gonna go too far into the music thing because I can talk forever with that shit. But I'll piggyback off that on the next series, but I just want to point that out. But going back to the St. Jude song, so she said St. Jude, and I ain't even listened to all the lyrics shit. I could probably go in and break that whole song down, but I just deal with the chorus here, or the recurring thing she was saying. She was saying on the song, she said St. Jude, patron of the lost cause. Now, St. Jude, patron of the lost cause. First and foremost, who is Jude? And man, that's why I wish this boy, I wish old Gerald Massey would have had a, they call that shit a glossary, or with a place in the back of the book where you can go to find the word and find out all the pages that word is on. Index, yeah, that's what it's called. Cause I wouldn't mind getting into the, see if I can get lucky and flip to it real quick. There's a section in here where they talk about the IU, the OWL, the Jude. I ain't gonna look for it because I'll fuck off too much time, but I'll revisit it when I do find it. But Jude, well, who is Jude? St. Jude. Jude. Well, we know Jude is Judas. But they say that the letter J is late, relatively speaking. This is what they say from what I've studied or whatever. But they said the letter J comes from the letter I. So you take the J and replace it with an I, you have Iud. Iudi, the original Kamite version of the ass-headed god was Ayub would be like a, you have Soot, his zoo type is the donkey, right? But Soot, the donkey in representation of Soot, the red donkey would be representative of the total negation, or the total opposite of light, or really so much, really the donkey would be more so of a reference to physical reality or whatever. Now when you're dealing with Jude or Ayudi is an ass-headed deity too. But Ayudi is the Christ. He's the darkness that pervades throughout and within the light. So when you're dealing with Ayud or Ayud, this is where the word Jew comes from. Because at first it was Ayudi or Ayud. The I. The I would pertain to the center because it's shoots straight up to the middle as a pillar. And the U would be the light. See how the earth makes the U? So the I would pertain to the light shoot straight through the center, and the U would pertain to the lights hitting the flanks right here, creating the U, the IU. They say Jesus rose into Jerusalem on an ass. Well, you can look at it this way, or you can look at it where when Christmas rolled around, or the winter, the sun, oh no, not Christmas, but summer. When summer rolled around, that would be more so of the Ayudi aspect of it on one hand, because the sun is at its highest point above the earth during the summer. So it would be actually over it or on top, shining the light down on the earth as if it was riding on the earth. Earth being the physical aspect compared to light being the molecules of light. The earth molecules are moving slow as the light from the sun is moving at a high vibration. So the earth would be the ass or the donkey, and the sun in the summer shining down over it or on top of it, the same way Jesus was on top of the ass or the donkey. Would be Jesus riding to Jerusalem. But then Jerusalem, but this the flip side of it. Jerusalem is comes from the word Jerusalem. Salam means peace. So that's a form of Emotep or Ayutep, which is a peace form of Horus. And when we go into winter, when the earth goes into winter, that's when the temperatures drop or become more negative or dwindle down more into the negative. The negative being the feminine, not negative in a bad way, I'm speaking scientifically here, but the negative going to the temperatures dropping into the negative, or slow, or the light slowing down, or this is why the winter is ice, because everything, just like I'll tell you, the moon, everything became at peace when all the energy rose up. When all the energy rose up from here, all the way up here, causing the water to freeze, everything right here being at peace, while the sun or the light was all up here, all this being at peace or being still. So there you go again. This would be the original Christ on the ass, because make sure. Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah. When all that light travels up here and combines up here, it's sitting on top. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. The ice or the moon would be the little lamb or the lamb, with Mary right here, the mirror, or which the moon is representative of a mirror or whatnot. Just like the mirror reflects your image, the moon reflects the energy of the sun, the light of the sun. But when all that light travels up here and becomes the Christ, or totally illuminates this circle, I mean the star Sirius, the same way when you raise your Kundalini energy up, the light that's hiding within the melanin throughout your whole body comes to the surface and illuminates or glorifies the whole body. So this would be Christ rising on the ass, or sitting on top of the ass or the donkey, while the earth frozen, the molecules moving slow. Remember I was telling you how the donkey was representative of the physical, because the more physical things become, the more stubborn, or the more slower the molecules move. So the less movement they deal with. So but remember, I broke this down in the Christmas in July thing. But then when you look at the dead of the winter, after the horse on the horizon, or after the earth and the sun separate, or not necessarily separate, because everything is all one regardless, but when it separates on the physical aspect, the earth goes into its state of peace, or its winter state, or its state of symbolical stillness. Because remember, when all this rises up and all that light is coming from the center, and all that light that was right here shoots out to go and create the zodiacs and the 7 orbits that's for the 7 planets or whatever. This is left like the life is left is left symbolically lifeless. Remember, all the light that was left behind is buried by the melanin that fell from these right here. So it's buried like same way you bury your bury dead people and stuff. So this was a symbolic death as the sun set up here, or peace, rest in peace. You dig? So that would be the Jew, or the Ayud. Ayud would be the light or whatnot. The Ayud sitting on top of the D, the double, the double mothers, or the 2 flanks of the surface, the D. So now, Jude or Judas, hold on one second. Jude or Judas, in regards to the zodiac, he corresponds with Judas. Each zodiac sign is representative of one of the 12 disciples, or the 12 disciples are representative of the zodiac. And the one that corresponds to Judas is Scorpio, because Scorpio is the zodiac house that the earth passes into when we getting ready to go into the winter. So November was considered the Judas. because the Earth passing through Scorpio on its way into December 22nd, which is when the sun is at its, well, the sun passing into the zodiac of Scorpio. It corresponds to Osiris being betrayed by Set or Soot. So it's like he goes into that house, and then when he comes out of that house and goes into the next house, which would be what's that, Capricorn, December 22nd, that's when he symbolically died, or he is at his lowest point beneath the earth. And so it's almost as if Scorpio sent him into Capricorn to symbolically die on December 22nd and then resurrect on December 25th and start to regain his strength. So that's the Judas thing. Now, so when she says Saint Jude, patron of the lost cause, now the first thing you think when you hear a lost cause is a waste of time or something like that, something that just ain't worth your time, whatever. You know, that phrase, the lost cause, is the spirit, the lost cause. What is the lost cause? Well, first and foremost, everything in existence on the physical, in the physical realm is an effect. An effect that is rooted in a spiritual cause and effect. Everything has a cause and effect. The earth or the physical realm is an effect. The spiritual realm is the cause. So when they say lost cause, it's talking about how when you're born into the physical body, you forget, you come down here as a soul, but then once you enmesh or you take on this physical body, you forget that, or you lose that understanding or that knowing. You know, as babies, since they are fresh to this world and just coming out of the spiritual world, they're more, even though they're not conscious of it, they're a little bit more spiritual than they are when they start going into like 8 and 9. That's when the ego starts to kick in and shit, and that really fucks you up. You ever notice how motherfuckers? You ever notice how, like, in school and shit, one thing I notice about school is, see, even when it comes to dating, that's why, when it comes to dating and shit like that, and I be telling motherfuckers about all this old factoring in the finances when it comes to courting and dating and all this shit. The best, see, when you have a childlikeness about yourself, I ain't talking about childish or not being responsible. I'm talking about having a pure heart, or the innocence, or having a innocence, not saying a goody two shoes, but having a certain childlike innocence about yourself. That's why I tell motherfuckers all the time, if niggas meaning men and women, want the dating scene within Black America or the black race or whatever you want to call it to improve, you have to go back to when we were kids. Because think about it. See, now you go to the club, you base who you want to fuck with off of, I can't fuck with him, he ain't got no money. Oh, he ain't got no car. Or you ain't got this. I can't fuck with him. Woo, 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 woo. But let me ask you a question. Or like, you got women that be like, I can't fuck with no broke man and all this old shit. But let me ask you a motherfucking question. What the fuck was you judging or basing who you fucked with or who you liked when you was in elementary? Before all the bullshit kicked in. Before the ego in middle school. Because middle school is, that's when you really start to see the ego kick in. Because it be motherfuckers I was cool with in fifth. I remember shit like, these motherfuckers I was cool as hell with in 5th grade. And then 6th grade, we come back from that 6th grade summer break. And these motherfuckers act like they don't even know a nigga. It's like something, like they too hot to try to something now. And I be looking like, motherfucker. And at this time, I'm already in the streets and shit. I'm already, because I kind of maturated at a fast pace. So, I'm conscious of all this shit. That's why I can tell you stories and I'll tell you, go back to that point and remember all this shit but in my mind, I'm like, bitch ass nigga or bitch ass bitch, you was just, nigga, just last year, you was just a motherfucking, just had the goddamn muffin babies on your goddamn lunch pail and shit. But now you got your nose in the air. So that's when that ego and shit all kick in at. But, what the fuck was you basing who you liked on, or basing who you wanted to date with on when you was in elementary school? You based the shit on the motherfucker you liked. You see the motherfucker, motherfucker that was attracted to you. Ain't nothing to do with no goddamn money and all this old shit or whatever. Why the fuck did I go into this shit? Let me get back to the goddamn subject before I get too far. But yeah, that shit. But y'all was talking about the kids though. But when you come down here and you soul and you come into this body, the body that you're in, you lose sight of the fact that you are God, or you are divine, or you are a soul. Only thing you don't know, only thing you can identify with your body: food, clothing, shelter, eat, drinks, sleep, shit, whatever. It's the only thing you can. The part of you or the understanding of who you truly are was lost. That's why when she says patron of the lost cause, see, you'll hear that and you would think, who the fuck wants to be the patron of a lost cause? You would think that means the patron of a cause that is pointless. No, patron of the lost cause means you are a patron of the lost cause because you are a patron, or you are somebody who partakes in the seeking or searching for the lost cause. Patron of the lost cause. Even in Nation of Islam, they tell you we the lessons of within the NOI 5% is called what? The lost and found lessons. What they say about the goddamn Israel, lost children of Israel and all that old shit. Which goes back to the word Jew. Like I would tell you, they say that the letter J comes from I, and when you go to Kemet, the original it was IU, and that's why Jehovah and all that shit comes from the IU, or whatever. But so Saint Jude or IUD, that would be the, because when you're dealing with it, the IU is, when you read up on it, it's more so, like I said, because the one form of the ass is dealing with the soot, which is the darkness and the stubbornness and the slowing down the vibration and all that shit. But when you read up on IU or AIU or AU to out, like I was just going back into the other Serious Mystery. Let me hurry up and run through this too, because I only got 20 minutes. So yeah, but I got, cause I see my hand, want to show y'all too. But when from what I'm reading, everything I'm dealing with, and plus from a knowing, When you're dealing with the IU, you're talking about the glorified body. So the ash soot, the soot, as far as the ash of the soot would be just the darkness, or i.e. when all this goes up here and this is no more light down here, or the light is hidden or covered under the snow and the melanin and in the inner bowels of the earth, that would be soot typhon. Typho, which in this book you read that too, other than in Secret Teachers of All Ages. I think it's Secret Teachers of All Ages. But they talk about typho or typhus, comes from the word typhus or typho, which means blind or lacking the light or whatnot. So when all the light comes up here, and this is left with no light inside of it, or the light is buried or hidden, the little particles of light or whatever, that would be soot or apap, or all this, while this is up here, going through its formation process, is left lightless down here. So that would be the soot ash. But the whole thing would be the iud, or the iudi, because if you're just dealing with the soul, with the body without the soul up here, that's the soot thing. But when you're dealing with the light in the body while the light is up here, it may not be inside of it. When you look at the whole thing, that's the iud, just like I told you, Christ on the ass, or the donkey or whatever. So when she says St. Jude, patron of the lost cause, to be a patron of the lost cause means to remember or be one who is guided in the path, down the path of remembering or finding that which was lost, which was the spiritual cause, which brought forth the physical effect. Patron of the lost cause. That's a brilliant ass song, and the fucking rhythm and all that shit of it is. That shit sound like some. I ain't gonna lie. She sound like she grew up listening to goddamn Bone Thugs Harmony or something. I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, man, this shit is extraordinary. Just to me, you know, it's the way it was set up. The St. Jude, nah, that shit was just. And that shit, I was listening to that shit. I was high. It's better, even better when you're high. Me and my partner just smoked one. I'm sitting there listening to that shit there. I say, man, this shit here is this is some bad shit right here, man. So yeah, man. But that's the patron of the lost cause thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what she means. When she says that. Oh yeah. In one part of the song when she was like grabbing your attention. That goes back to what I was saying when I first started speaking in 2017. The physical world, when they say, when in the Bible, when it says, speaks about Jesus being a jealous God, or Jehovah being a jealous God, what it's saying is, that's referring to just like a jealous female or something, or a jealous man or something, who want all your attention and get mad when you start to when you're not giving them attention or whatever. Basically what it's saying is referring to what takes most of your attention up when it comes to the spiritual world and the physical world. The physical world, because you got to figure out what you're going to eat. You got to figure out how you entertain yourself. You got to figure out, you got to work. And then you got to deal with all this other shit that comes with the physical. So it takes so much of your time. It's basically saying the physical world is saying, don't worship nothing. But it's when the Bible says that God said or Jehovah said, I am a jealous God. Don't worship no other God than me. That statement is meant to be reflective of that mentality of when it say don't worship nothing but me, worship means to adore or to give your adoration to or your attention to. So when it says don't worship no other God than me, that is representative of the physical world taking all your attention, which distracts you from the spiritual. So when it's a part of the song when she said grabbing yours. At least that's how I interpreted that part when she said grabbing your attention. That's how I interpreted that. Because that's the physical world. The physical world, the Jude or the donkey or the physical world, it consumes a lot of your attention because you have to navigate, you have to, like I said, you have to work or eat and find out how you're gonna do that. And even find out how you even get into the goddamn spiritual aspect of life. You have to figure out what book to read and who to listen to. So there's so many words it's saying. You have to be aware. Well, this is what I'm saying. You have to be aware of this. So although you may have to do what you have to do to survive on this physical plane, don't forget the lost cause, or i.e., don't forget the spirit aspect of this. You know what I'm saying? And then once you finally become of the glorified body, the Christ body, you will be guided. It might not feel like it at times, but you know what I'm saying? You be guided to certain things or whatever. So I got 14 minutes left. I hope that was a thorough breakdown of that song. But and it's just another example of how when you look at hip hop, and when you look at hip hop, am I saying that that type of metaphysical shit is not within hip hop? And when I say hip hop, I'm not talking about the music industry. Well, I'm talking about the music industry in this aspect, but hip hop is not the fucking music industry. Let's get that shit straight. So hip hop is the spirit of this shit. Hip hop works in the music industry. It's not the fucking industry. So the attack on hip hop, one of the attacks is this, which is the artists who do make songs that will be equivalent to a St. Jude. Those artists are the artists that they pushed out the game, because X-Clan and or like Ra, I ain't gonna say they pushed them out the game, but they controlled the game and shaped the game, the industry, in a manner to where artists who would bring you that type of substance. And I can break shit down in hip hop, so don't get me wrong, but the type of hip hop that they push to the forefront for the most part, it's not gonna be songs and artists that will equip their music with this type of information, to where I can take a song, and there's songs in hip hop I can go to and break down and shit. But those are the type of artists that they try to keep out the game. Why? Remember, one of the attacks was to make the world think niggas are stupid as fuck. But you can't make niggas, they're not gonna think niggas is stupid if they making songs with this type of information inside of it, that you can go and say, look man, when that nigga said this, he was talking about that, and that, and woo, woo, woo. Or just like when I broke down the Back in One Piece, you know what I'm saying? Which Aaliyah was, she did say that she studied ancient Egypt, but she had an interest in ancient Egypt. So that was not by coincidence. And you know, and I'm not taking, we do have shit in our shit, don't get me wrong, Earth, Wind and Fire and hip hop and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we don't have, I'm saying that they, for the most part, they try to keep that shit to a minimum as far as mainstream music goes. So I'm not, don't get me wrong, I don't want y'all to think I'm selling niggas out. No, he shitting on us and he lifting the white folks up. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to show you what the hell is going on. So let me read this right here, man. I only got 10 minutes left. It's another interesting analogy that I want to share with you out of the out of the Sirius Mystery book. And I dig these blues. I'm really some other shit. I kind of spent a little too much time on the everything else, but it ain't that. And I just come back and whatever I missed, do it again. But dig this. All right. Anubis is variously represented as a jackal-headed and dog-headed in Egyptian art. Wallace Budge adds, this much, however, is certain that in ancient times, the Egyptians paid the greatest reverence and honor of the dog. Anubis was also variously represented as the son. Let me make sure this okay, y'all. Anubis was also variously represented as the son of Nephthys by Osiris, and as being really identical with Osiris himself. See how this shit is, you see how everything is, see what they just said right there, Anubis being identical with Osiris himself. Because for one, Osiris represents the total the whole shebang of all this shit. Because Osiris is the Lord of transformation. So all this shit I'm showing, that's why I can sit here and tell you 1,000,001 different symbolic references to this shit, because it's transformation like Osiris. It's transforming. So on one hand I can tell you, like I said the other day, one hand I can tell you that this is the light going up into the hill is Isis drawing in the sperm or the solar-phallic energy and impregnating itself, or I can tell you that this is Soot taking Christ up to the mountain. Because Osiris, one of the things, Osiris is the Lord of transformation. So that's that on that, but let me get to this real quick. A name similar to Anubis, which is really Anpu in Egyptian, and which is also associated with Isis Sotis, is Anukis, a fellow goddess who, along with the goddess Satis, sails the same celestial boat with Sotis in the Egyptian paintings. There are thus three goddesses together, possibly a description of Sirius A, Sirius B, and Sirius C, and emphasizing that the Sirius system is really thought to be a 3-star system. Just to underline the point, Nuguber specifically states, Nugebauer specifically states, the goddess Satis, who like her companion Anukis, is hardly to be taken as a separate constellation, but rather as an associate of Sothis. The goddess Anukis holds 2 jars from which she pours water, possibly indicating 2 watery planets around her star. Now, 2 stars. One more part I want to read on that too. Let me see. 2 jars from which she pours water, possibly indicating 2 watery planets around her star. All the references to the Sophic heavens are to a watery reed-growing paradise. Many archaeologists have surmised that this refers to some specifically Egyptian locale, but no one is sure. What is known is that heaven is almost invariably associated with the Sirius system, and is described as being prolific of vegetation and watery. Okay, it must be on the other page. But anyway, let me I'll just get to that one in the next video. But remember when I told you, when I was looking at when I caught the star Sirius, I told you that I saw Sirius B pulling the light or sucking the light. That's the draconian thing right there again. Dracula. What does Dracula do? Suck the blood or suck? I'm not saying you supposed to go out and suck them up on the blood, but it's actually referring to the absorbing or the sucking. So the dark star, the Dracula, pulling on the Sirius A, drawing the light. When it was drawing the light, when I finally saw the black dot starting to draw the light from Sirius A began to turn white. and it was when it got up on it and started pulling on it, it went from sparkling all those colors to turning into white like the moon. But I was seeing the colors, the light come sucking into the black hole. And like I said, that's like when you send a light spectrum through a prism. What happens? It breaks up into different color. When you send the light through the prism, it breaks up into different color spectrums. So what I just explained to you will be another version of what this is when they say that what was it, nucleus? Nuke is holding the two jars from which she's pouring water. Let me see if y'all can see this shit. How much time we got? 5 minutes yet. Let's see something real quick. I want to make sure this should get on the camera. It says it falls up. All right, so it says she's holding 2 jars. Now, pouring water. These would be the 2 jars. This would be a nucleus, a Sirius A, and then it's the orbit. These would be the 2 jars. She's pouring when the light is pulled, when the Sirius B or shoe or the vacuum is sucking the light from Sirius A, it's like the light is pouring, because that's what it's kind of looking like. The light is pouring into the dark jar, and then this jar transfers the light to us down here. So this pours the light is pouring from here into Sirius B, and the Sirius B is pouring the light to us. That's what was happening when 4th of July came, and in the summer, around the summer time of the summer solstice. Y'all already know I've been broke. Really, I think that's what triggered all this shit. Cause I've been when I was in jail. That's when I started pondering on how the Earth came into formation, or the universe came into formation. But when I had when I made that contact with Sirius, and I actually saw it and caught it on camera, which in the next video I think I'm gonna show pictures. I'm gonna just let y'all see it on my phone. But yeah, I think that's when I started getting the downloads or the answers to the question of how the universe came into being, and the answer being everything I'm doing right now. Even over the 4th of July weekend, it was I could tell it was some real information being downloaded, because that's when I found out about the whole because you remember that's when I really that's when I really got a clear well, really that's when when I was reading the Richard King book, and the new sweat and all that came about. And this shit finna cut off, so we're gonna pick up from where I left off on the next one. But y'all hang on, man, and be easy. Peace.